When we think of what was once Britain's network of branch lines, one pictures trains slowly clanking through pastoral landscapes, or else steaming at immaculate if otherwise unoccupied platforms far from the madding crowd. And yet, while such images may be tinged with nostalgia, they also accurately describe this quintessential British branch line. Running at the foot of the Chiltern Hills from the Buckinghamshire town of Prince's Risborough to the Oxfordshire market town of Watlington lie the remains of the Watlington and Prince's Risborough Railway. Opened in 1872, the railway diverged from the branch line to Tame, which in itself left what is today's Chiltern Main Line to Birmingham. Today, part of the railway remains in operation as far as Chinnor, with heritage services run by the staff and volunteers of the Chinnor and Prince's Risborough Railway. However, the line continued onward through the countryside to Watlington. It is this section which is the principal subject of this film. As a footnote, the railway's planners had intended to continue the line to Wallingford, ultimately forging a cross-country connection with the Great Western Main Line, but, as we shall see, this failed to materialise. We begin at Prince's Risborough. Today's modern diesels speed through the station under the watchful eye of their historic forebear, the classic Class 121 bubble car to the left of the picture. The presence of this unit leads the eye towards Platform 4, which is occupied by the Chinnor and Prince's Risborough Railway. Let me be clear that this section of railway is by no means lost. It is one of the finest heritage railways one is likely to encounter, whether it is in the details, such as these benches, or in the spectacular, such as the largest surviving Great Western Railway signal box, a Grade 2 listed structure undergoing restoration by the line's staff and volunteers. Class 8, number D3018, Havisham departs for Chinnor. And in so doing, we gain a passenger's eye view of the signal box. The Chiltern Hills rise above the railway for much of its course. Opened in 1906, the first station along the route is Bledlow Bridge Halt. Amenities were slight, as can be seen in this picture. The GWR's strategy in creating these halts was part of an effort to lure passengers away from competing bus services. A blink and you'll miss its appearance as we pass it by today, for indeed trains do not call at this station. Like Bledlow Bridge Halt, Wainhill Crossing Halt sought to encourage passenger traffic in the face of increased competition from buses. It was, in fact, the last station on the line to be built, opening as it did in 1925. As with Bledlow, services do not call at this station, but the effort that has gone into restoring and maintaining this halt are both to be remarked at. And so, after a little over 3.5 miles, we reach the Heritage Line's terminus, and the jewel in its crown, Chinnor. Rebuilt from scratch, it is among one of the finest branch line stations one is likely to see. Whilst our journey on this delightful line ends, our effort to explore what is lost begins. Trains would continue beyond the present-day yard and out into the Oxfordshire countryside once more, as marked by the tree line in the middle distance. Standing on the Icknield Way, our railway runs parallel through what is now substantial shrub and tree growth. So we reach the site of Kingston Crossing Halt. Opened in September 1906, the station consisted of a single low platform on which stood a wooden passenger waiting shelter. Approximately the same view today. The crossing keeper's house, situated adjacent to the station, lives on as a private residence. And so our journey continues. About a mile later, we reach the site of Aston Rowant station. The station building, as seen in this excellent photograph, bears the architectural signature of the station structures on the line. Today, alas, it is altogether gone. But a few relics are still to be found, including this retaining wall, a tarmacked surface beneath the leaf mould, a fence post, these foundations, and these fine ornate railings. So we depart Aston Rowant. Now demolished, trains passed beneath a bridge carrying the A40, which has since been visited by the blight of fly tipping. Trains continued their southwesterly course for just under a mile before reaching the next point of call. Our final halt on this journey, Lewknor Bridge, was opened in 1906 along with the halts at Bledlow Bridge and Kingston Crossing. As the name suggests, it was located atop a bridge on the southern margin of the village it served. Today, we find that both station and bridge have been swept away, with the roar of traffic occupying the space. For the next 2 miles, the track bed is marked by hedging and tree growth. And so we arrive at the line's terminus, Watlington. The station was located northeast of Watlington itself, about 1.5 miles from the town centre. We face east along the heavily overgrown trackbed and catch a glimpse of the dilapidated station building to the left. It was hoped that the station would be part of a through route to Wallingford and the Great Western Main Line, but financial difficulties, which would plague the line throughout its life, curtailed these prospects. British Railways closed the branch to passengers in 1957 and goods in 1961, after which time the track between Chinnor and Watlington was lifted. In so doing, this rural line, with its characterful architecture, individual customs and measured pace of life, something which typified branch lines across Great Britain, were lost altogether. And so we reach our journey's end, with the graceful station building at Watlington being reclaimed by nature and worn by time. I hope you enjoyed this film. Please subscribe, click your notification bell, and share Rediscovering Lost Railways.